facing away from you. No matter which way the fillet is, the rib cage is facing away from you. Okay. So you're going to take this and you're going to cut the rib cage out, just like you would any other fish, away from you. Okay? And this is a very thin rib cage. So once you get under that bone, you can turn your knife almost parallel to your board, and it's very thin. You can just peel it back. But you have to go down just a little bit to get that first part of the rib out. Okay? Then there's a lateral line. It's that white line that runs through the fish. Now you cut that away from you. You have two cuts that are going to be towards you. That's the key. No wide bones in the tail, so you can come up about here. I'm going to cut a 1/16 above that line. I mean, just about on that line. And I'm cutting on an angle towards me, just right above that line. And you can see I'm using most of the knife to do that. Now I'm going to make another cut about 1/2 inch below the line. I'm going to use just the tip of my knife, because if you listen carefully, you can actually hear I'm right above those bones, and you can actually see them if you look. So you take that cut and you just continue. It's kind of like skinning a deer, whatever. You're just kind of filleting it right off of those bones right there. So you just keep, and you can do it all in one cut once you get good at it, but you just kind of do that. Now the bones don't actually go all the way down to the board. So if you had a bigger fillet, or if you're really good at this, don't cut this all the way through, and then once you have it about halfway through, you can turn your knife again parallel to the board and kind of come underneath and just kind of scoop right underneath those bones. And if you do it with more the tip of your knife, you'll actually feel yourself clicking right along that. But that's just on an angle as well towards you. And then you just cut this part out. Take your finger and your thumb, and you can run back and forth and just make sure you didn't forget anything, that you weren't too close, and you shouldn't feel anything. The only spot that sometimes is tough is right back here, right towards the tail. Sometimes the bone actually, instead of being just right above that line, you almost have to kind of go up just a little bit right there. But otherwise, if you're going to feel any bones, that's where I usually miss them, is right there. Okay. So you've kind of just taken that section out. So rib cage, cut away from you, two cuts towards you, one right above the lateral line, one about 1/2 inch below. Okay, so we'll do one more. Do you have that needle?
Yeah.
You can just set it right there on the counter if you want.
Thank you very much.
Did it work?
Yep.
Awesome.
Works good now.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so cut the rib cage away from you. Now this fillet is set different than the other one, but it makes no difference. My two cuts are towards me. One right above the line, down to, I don't know, what, two inches before the end of the tail. You can cut it all the way out if you want. Just right down to about here. And when you're cutting here, if you hear something, you'll know that for whatever reason you just kind of have to go up a little bit there. But cut this one, then just use the tip of your knife and be about 1/2 inch below. And I can feel right where I'm at almost. And again, that angle, the blade is towards me. Can you kind of hear it? There they are, right there.
Yeah.
You can feel them as plain as day. Okay. Again, if you're really good, you can scoop right underneath those and catch that little, 1/8 of an inch underneath there. But I usually just cut that out. That's your garbage. Feel back and forth there. But that's what you got. That's what you had.
Cool.
Which is more than, if you whack that, that's a perch and a perch, and so